Hello there, I'm Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And this is Bryan vs. Bryan, episode 41. Those That Wish Me Dead. What the heck is the name of the title of this movie?
Yeah, that's right.
Those That Wish Me Dead is what it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought for some
It's
reason
a little obnoxious, but
I thought it was Those That Wish Death Upon Me or something.
no, it's Those Who Wish Me Dead.
Those Who Wish Me Dead. Those Who Would Have Me Dead.
Why'd they put you in a fire tower?
Well, I'm just lucky, I guess. I read the wind wrong. I should have gone to them.
Then you'd be dead too.
That's our job.
Hey! Stop! I'm not gonna hurt you.
I want to see where the blood's coming from.
It's not my blood.
You in trouble? Anyone else in trouble?
My dad said if anything happened, I should find someone I could trust.
Those Who Want Me Dead. How many iterations?
2021 HBO Max theater release. Another one of them. Here we go. I don't know anything about this movie other than I watched it. You got some info on it?
Yeah, so I was kind of in the same boat. I didn't know really anything about this movie. I didn't see a trailer. I kind of just jumped in. The only info that I got was that it was directed by Taylor Sheridan, I believe. And I'm actually kind of a fan of his. I didn't realize this was one of his movies. I was like, oh, shit. So if you, for those of you who don't know who he is, he's kind of more of a prolific writer than he is a director. He's only directed one film. But he wrote Sicario, or both Sicarios. He wrote a movie called Hell or High Water. He wrote and directed a movie called Wind River. I think he was he was the sheriff in the Sons of Anarchy show, or a cop in Sons of Anarchy show. But yeah, anyways, he hasn't really made a bad movie or written a bad movie as far as I'm concerned. So I was kind of surprised to see him in. I was like, oh shit, this is a Taylor Sheridan movie. What?
It's the first time for everything, I guess. No. So yeah, you go ahead, go through, and you do the structure on this, and I'll jump in. This is seems like more of a you movie.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It was kind of artsy yet thriller. You know what I mean? It had a vibe to it, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it felt very. Well, it's interesting because this movie and another movie from HBO Max that came out this year feels like it's from a different decade. And the movie I'm referencing is The Little Things. And I think that I remember you telling me that Little Things was actually written in the 90s, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But that movie and this movie both feel like it's from they feel like 90s thrillers. You know what I mean? Like they feel out of time.
Like that Bertinelli or Bertinelli character could have been played by Stallone.
Exactly.
And he's the sheriff. Yeah.
But yeah, so this movie is about a woman who's an ex-firefighter, or I guess she is still a firefighter, and she's on a fire tower watch as some sort of demotion because of some past trauma. And meanwhile...
Yes. First of all, I want to stop you there, right? Right off the bat. Right off the bat, they're throwing too much at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought this was a fucking like a thriller murder me movie, and then there's like fire. So it became Backdraft. And there's like they're trying to the whole movie feels like a Backdraft or one of those Dante's Peak type movies mixed with fucking what's a fucking I don't know, Taken or something like that, where you got a hitman assassin, and it just seemed like two very different movies the whole time. But it had me up till this point. about 3/4 of the way is kind of when I started waning. But the beginning, I really actually enjoyed. I was sitting there watching with Jess. She's like, "This is pretty good," and then I went and watched it later and finished. And she's like, "It's already done." I'm like, "Yeah, it's already done." You saw the best part.
Yeah, it's funny you say that it feels like two different movies because it kind of does. But I also feel like Angelina Jolie's character. If I have, we'll start with the criticism. But if there's one criticism I have, and I have a few, but it's her character feels like two different characters because when we're introduced to her, she's portrayed as like this badass kind of adrenaline junkie, one of the guys, you know, and then 20 minutes in, she's like just a broken woman character, and it's like, whoa, what happened to the character that happened in the first like 10 minutes of the movie? Like it just feels like, wait, what? I mean, you could have both, but it just seemed a little jarring. It's like, wait, I thought you were like the adventurer, one of the bros type of hard women, and all of a sudden, in the next scene, she's like crying and weeping. And it's like, wait, what? So it kind of seemed a little weird.
Yeah,
I can play cornhole very well. That's who I am.
Yeah, she failed her psych test after the big fire, so she couldn't. She was one of those. What do they call them? Like a freaking parachute firefighter, where they drop in with a parachute because they were in the middle of the forest. So she was one of those, but she failed her psych evaluation because during a fire, they read the wind wrong, and so they got caught in the fire, and we had to run from the fire, not fight the fire. She's like, "You never want to do that." Oh shit! But oh yeah, and then so some kids were trapped in the fire, and she watched them burn alive, like 2 boys or 3 boys, and that's her scarring.
Yeah,
and yeah, felt like a weird thing. Her 2 characters, like kind of the slutty, one of the boys' characters, and then just super PTSD character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just feel like, I mean, again, you can have both, but, or I don't know, maybe, no, I'll draw a line in the sand. I don't think you can have both. Like, just lean into one or the other. Either have her just a badass, you know, one of the guys type of woman, or just have her dealing with some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels weird to have them both. So that, I don't know, that was kind of a criticism I have. I think she's fine in her role. I think Angelina Jolie is a great actress. I mean, I didn't think she was bad, but I just thought her character was a little, you know, two-face. But so we got that, and then meanwhile, you have two.
The other movie starts.
Yes, the other movie starts. You have 2 hitmen who are eliminating some people who know a bunch of information, and one of the people they're trying to murder gets away and is en route to go to where Angelina Jolie is, rather.
Yeah.
Her area. And he's with his son, and the hitmen finally catch up to them, kill the father, the son escapes, Angelina Jolie runs into the kid, and then the rest of the movie is just the assassins trying to get the kid.
Yeah, and the kid and his dad are trying to get to the Punisher.
Yes.
Bertinelli, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but that
John
guy.
Bernthal.
And he... Oh, it's Bernthal?
Well, that's his real name.
Not even
I don't remember his character name.
Cool. Not even as cool and Italian as I thought it was. Bertinelli. Johnny,
there we go.
But they're going to find him because his dead sister is the boy's father's wife. So that's the brother-in-law and the uncle to the kid. So they're going to find him. We'll get into him later, but the best part of this movie for me was these 2 assassins, dude.
Yeah.
Every time they were on screen, I loved it. Especially the older one. I don't know who he is, but he was in fucking Dark Knight Rises on the airplane opening scene. We're going to shoot your friend and throw him out the plane.
He's also famously, he's Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. I'm sure a lot of people recognize him as Littlefinger.
Yes. I've seen a show called Game of Thrones. I don't know if it's the same one.
I think his name is Aidan Gillian, I believe. And the other guy is Nicholas Hoult. I don't think he's had like a big breakout movie. I think he's just
I've seen him in a lot of stuff, though.
I guess Mad Max
seen him
is
in
the
some
only
shit.
One. Yeah.
I've seen him in some shit. Never like a badass role like he's supposed to be in this. But yeah, those guys were fucking awesome, man. Like setting up the kills and stuff. They make them seem like they're so good at it. They fuck up quite a few times in the movie though. So it's like, how good are you?
Yeah.
But it was really cool. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, I like their
That's what.
contribution a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Especially Littlefinger, and he doesn't last as long as the other one, but it was pretty freaking sweet. And the fire effects in this were pretty cool. How they really made you feel like how fucking crazy a forest fire can be with the wind going and it's just engulfing trees and shit. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It made me think when I watched it that I think it's about time to have like a badass firefighting video game, like with the graphics so good now, where you could do these badass fire simulations, where it's like simulating how it would engulf and you got to fight it. The graphics of a crazy fire. I just think that could be a really cool game.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. You could do a video game adaptation of that. What's that guy? That movie, remember that? Fucking Firestorm with Howie, the football guy. Howie something.
Howie Long.
You remember that fireman movie he did?
Was that? I thought that wasn't Backdraft. No, that's Kurt Russell. Huh?
Yeah, that's Kurt Russell.
Yeah, it was like the shitty version, straight to
yeah.
of that. Yeah.
Well, what else is there? I mean, fucking. Yeah, we could talk about John Barenthal. I'm always happy. I think he's extremely underrated. I'm always happy when he shows up in a movie. I think he's great. He's the sheriff.
He always seems like the same guy.
Yeah, he's kind of typecasted. Yeah.
He seems like the guy from Walking Dead before the zombie apocalypse happened. This is what it seems like, which is fine, I guess. I think the best thing he ever did was Punisher. Showed some range. Yeah, him. I liked him in this. I thought he was going to be more of a badass. I was like, why else put him in it? Unless he's going to be someone to help and stuff. But his wife ended up being more of a badass than him.
Yeah, his wife was really, really good. Just pregnant chick, just taking care of business.
Yeah, and then like he, at the beginning he pulls out his gun and the assassins they immediately stop him. It's like 10 seconds in, he's like, oh shit, put your gun down, man. All right.
Yeah.
And then at one point, where he's like in the fire tower with the Angelina Jolie and the boy, he's like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this. It's like, all right. Thanks.
What good
buddy.
are you? What good are you?
and then the way his character ends is like, oh, okay. Let's go to sleep.
Yeah. I was hoping that he would survive because
yeah.
It would have been cool to have a movie like this where everybody survives. Like a lot of these movies, like it's always, the best friend's got to die or a relative's got to die. Someone who comes across the path of the assassins. But this movie doesn't do that, which I kind of appreciated. But then he ended up dying at the end. Oh, it would have been cooler if everybody survived. That would have been pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that he died from one gunshot wound.
Yeah.
Most movies, you take one gunshot, you ain't dying for nothing. But so that was kind of, I don't know, realistic. And it didn't happen right away. It was a very slow thing. But I didn't like that the fire went around the fucking tower or something. Like everything's burnt around it.
Oh, yeah.
And the tower's still standing. It's made of fucking wood. Like, what the fuck? Like, how the hell would that ever happen, dude? And they're just chilling there, like, watching it on the balcony, covered in ash. Oh, it's beautiful. Why wouldn't you go inside? Like, why are you on the porch?
I don't know if it was made out of wood. They wouldn't make fire towers made out of wood, right? Wouldn't that defeat the purpose? It's got to be made from something else. Otherwise, why would they have
It was fucking made out of wood.
I don't know about that.
It was fucking made out of wood, dude. Look at the fucking movie.
All right, I'll go back and watch. It just seems like, why would they do that? It would just burn down.
The point of the tower is not to survive a fire. The point of the tower is to spot a fire very far away.
Right, but you have to think of that. They would think to be smart and be like, nah, let's not make this out of wood just in case the fire gets to this point. I don't know. I'll go back and watch. I'll take your word for it though.
Oh man.
I thought the lightning bolt scene was a little silly.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't done very well. They could have done it in a better way, but it wasn't done very well. It looked kind of cheesy and goofy.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of wood ones. Googling this. But yeah, getting hit by fucking lightning. That was God. Now it wants to be Twister. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And then when they're running through the field, it's like, I'm gonna run and lay down. It's like, we're gonna trick the lightning. It's like, what is the fucking? I've never heard of this. Like, you running, like, is lightning crazier in the forest? Like, oh, you don't want lightning in the forest. It's different out here. It's a different beast. It's like fucking, it's just like you gotta zig, you gotta zag.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just run? I don't know. I don't know anything about lightning, get it. So yeah.
I don't get how lightning is all of a sudden way crazier there. Mm-hmm. Like, I guarantee you it's gonna hit near us, so just get down. It's like, what?
It felt so. Like, nothing in that scene really helped the plot at all. It just felt like, oh, we need something exciting to give the audience while they wait for the exciting stuff at the end. It's like, you didn't really need that scene. It didn't do anything. So, I don't know. It just seemed a little weird and out of place.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. No, maybe not a lot, but there's a couple things I've found that were just superfluous. It didn't matter at all. Like when he went to see the sheriff, the old man sheriff, and tell him about the boy, and they're coming down, and then the scene ends and the Johnny walks out, and it stays with the sheriff for a little bit, and the person behind him's like, "Hey, your wife's on the line. Do you want to speak to her?" And he's like, "Absolutely not." Mm-hmm. And it's like, we don't know your wife in the movie.
Yeah,
we don't know your relationship with her. You're not a main character at all, and yet it stays on you to have you deliver this line, this throwaway line about, oh, well, now we know this character doesn't want to talk to his wife.
Yeah,
things aren't going well.
It's supposed to be funny. Like, it just hangs around to have a joke in there, get a little chuckle out of the audience.
I was like, what is this? I remember being like, why was that necessary?
Yeah,
I was like, I don't care about this dude. I thought he was gonna be something more. Like, he seemed like pretty cool, and then he shot in the fucking eyeball. Mm-hmm. Ow! But yeah, there's a couple things like that, weird lines. I was like, why did they even need to say that?
Yeah. There's one thing that I actually appreciate of the movie. We're kind of harking on things that we don't like, but I mean, this kind of goes with all of his movies in the sense that they're all very simple. And I mean that as a positive, because I feel like a lot of filmmakers nowadays are trying to reinvent the wheel. They got to have the twist, or they got to have this, they got to have that. Where, like, a lot of movies he writes and directs, they're just simple. Like, this movie is just about two assassins trying to get to a kid. And Hell or High Water is about Chris Pine and Ben Foster robbing banks in Texas to save their mom's house. Like, but what makes his movies so strong, in my opinion, I don't know about this one, but his other movies so strong is that his characters are so good. And this movie, I think it's his least best movie, but I liked it. I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
it wasn't great. It was a fun watch, but like I said, about 3/4 in is where it kind of slowed and didn't like it as much. I liked the beginning thriller stuff, like kind of up until shortly after they attacked the car. It kind of started to wane on me a little bit, where it's mostly about the fire versus about the assassins. That's kind of where it lost me. There are some good scenes throughout that too, like the fighting the final assassin in the fire. Like, that was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But I was way more intrigued when it was mostly assassin type stuff, and they're hunting him down and killing witnesses. And I was like, oh, dude, these guys are fucking brutal. Yeah, and they're and then fucking Tyler Perry's the boss.
Yeah,
yeah, get him.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, you go to see him. He's like, hello.
He's dressed like Medea.
Yeah, I'm in disguise, motherfucker. And then, so yeah, I like that, and then like, the lines where he delivers to the other assassins, like from here on out, if anyone sees your face, eliminate him. And he's like, oh shit, that's gonna cause a lot of heat. And he's like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna start this fire. That's also gonna cause some heat. I was like, oh shit.
Nice.
It's like there's only like 2 cops in this whole town, bro.
Yeah.
You don't need to distract them with a giant forest fire.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
But yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff in it.
I want to go back to what you're saying, because I kind of want to push back on that, because you were saying that everything after the car, and when you say the car, you mean when they killed the dad?
Yeah.
Okay. You were saying everything after that is more about the fire. I think I'd argue that it's a lot
Not
of that
more
is the
about
assassin. I think the only time the fire is really like the last 30 minutes is the fire.
Well, when the fire becomes the pressing issue, that they're in the fire tower, and the John character and his wife, they're worried about the fire. So that's about the fire, no longer the assassins. There's no threat from them. Right, and then when the assassins are trying to find the boy and the girl near the last maybe quarter of the movie, it's about the boy and the girl, or Angelina Jolie and the boy, mostly about kind of avoiding the fire. I mean, the assassins are kind of like a secondary threat because the fire has become so crazy now. And she, is teaching them all this stuff. We're going to go to the creek. We're going to lay down, and we're going to show you how to float and suck in air. So I don't think it was all about the fire, but I think it definitely became more about the fire than the first 3/4 of the movie where it was no fire. So that's all I'm saying. And I enjoyed the first 3/4 more when it was like all assassin stuff and no fire. I found that stuff really intriguing. I still liked the end, but I didn't think it was as strong as the first 3/4 of the movie, when you barely knew anything and you're just starting to learn things and starting to get tiny bits of information about the dad, and like when he freaks out at the school. It's like all that stuff was really good to me. Like I felt like the movie was going in a really good direction for me, and I really liked it. And I was like, damn, this movie's good. Why'd it get bad reviews? I'm like, this is awesome. And then it kind of started to wane a bit. I mean, not as bad as these reviews I'm seeing, or it's getting like 4s and stuff. I think I've seen. But for me, it definitely didn't end as strong as I thought it would from watching the first 3/4.
Yeah, I'd agree there. It gets a little much at the end of the last villain fight in the fire. Oh, it was pretty crazy. He's fucking beating her face in. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I thought you were saying that like after the car scene, like the movie just turns into fire stopping thing. I was like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of assassin stuff up until like maybe the climax, but I see.
No, yeah, the assassin stuff without the fire, I just thought was stronger than the assassin stuff
with the fire.
The fire.
Gotcha. Yeah, what were you saying? You were saying something about. Oh, you were saying that they didn't really need to create a fire because there's like 3 sheriffs in town over. They do a lot of weird stuff like that. They're trying to over-explain things when they don't really need to. Like there's the scene with Tyler Perry where he's like, we have to assume that he gave his child all the information. And it's like, what?
Why would he do that?
Why can't he just be a liability? Like, oh, hey, you have to get the kid because he may have saw your face or something. But they have to spell out, oh, he may have given him a paper with all of the information. It's like, you don't need to say that. That's stupid. Didn't make sense to me. There's another one too that they had to explain something. Like, why'd you do that? Like, you don't need to. I guess the other one would be the fire one. But what'd you think of the kid? I know you were talking about. What movie were we talking about? You were saying something a lot of child actors are kind of hit and miss because, That
was with the Sandlot Rookie of the Year movie.
Yeah. So what do you think of this kid?
I thought this kid was pretty good. I didn't have much problem with his performance at all. I thought he was actually very believable. Mm-hmm. Maybe not that believable. I mean, as far as he's pretty cool and collected after his father's brutally murdered in front of him. Yeah. Like, there's some crying and stuff, but, I mean... I assume his life was normal until that point. And then, like, once he's, like, they're on the run, he starts with, like, are you in trouble? What's going on? Why are you scared? And he's, like, just, like, so nonchalant about it. It's like, what are you talking about? And then, yeah, after the brutal murders, he's like pretty brave and collected. As I thought it wouldn't probably happen that way if you had a normal ass childhood, and then all of a sudden you're on the run and your dad gets fucking murdered.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, pretty believable. I liked him.
Yeah, I was kind of on the fence with him for up until his dad is killed. There's a specific scene where I was like, it clicked for me. I'm like, oh, this kid's actually pretty good. It's when Angelina first finds him and she takes him back to the tower, and he has like the blanket on. And she's kind of like probing him for information. There's a lot of close up, and I thought his performance of like grieving with this shit, and I thought it was really good. But to your point about him nonchalant, my not really showing that his dad just died. There's a scene where Angelina Jolie's like, hey, we're going to go march to they're trying to look for a phone or radio. I don't remember why they leave, and it's right before the lightning strike. So we have this emotional scene with the kid in the tower, and then it like, we need to leave, and then it cuts to, and they're like playing a word game, and they're all buddy now, and I'm like, the last scene, you guys are all having this emotional thing in the tower, and all of a sudden we're playing a little fun word game, and we're all buddies now. It's like, I don't know. Seemed a little forced.
I'm a mother pheasant plucker or something like that.
But yeah, I also want to bring up the kid because he's kind of a big part of the movie. I thought he was pretty damn good.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Yeah, no complaints. I mean, my problem wasn't with the any of the performances. I think all the performances were good to serviceable. I don't think any of them were great just because the characters didn't really have a chance to do anything or have any big motivations or lines. So it's just kind of an ensemble.
Yeah.
I mean, the best character I think is probably the main assassin. It has the most depth. Even Angelina Jolie I don't think was, even though you got more exposition about her, I still felt like I knew more about the assassin. Really, I could just tell his motivations, but her, anyways. So the characters were all pretty good. I think my only problems were kind of like the story. I almost wanted to say pacing, but the pacing was pretty good. I didn't find any lulls or feel bored. So the pacing was good. I just don't think the story was very strong. I mean, it was okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't mind it. I do agree with it. It does feel like two different movies that they kind of combine about halfway through. Where it's like, wait, what? Now we're watching fucking Howie's Firestorm movie and Taken.
Yeah.
Well, how did you feel? I like that we don't actually know the information. I thought that was kind of cool. Like we're not given the information of why, like what the dad found out.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, huh? I don't care. It didn't bother me. I didn't really want to know. You could tell what it is. It's just some seedy government shit. You get enough innuendo about it. But the movie kind of just fucking ends. I didn't really like that. It's kind of like, okay, it's over. Okay,
yeah.
see ya.
You're gonna go talk to a reporter now, and then cut to fucking some Pearl Jam. I don't even know if it's Pearl Jam. It sounded like Pearl Jam. Some Vista.
Spoon Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Go do the interview. I was like, what the fuck? We just got done, almost getting murdered. We're calming down. He's got the quintessential after the fire scene with the emergency blanket on the end of the ambulance, and then here comes the reporter man. Okay, it's time to do an interview.
Yeah,
I was like, well, I think it can wait a minute. The interview, and I was like, I like how the interview is like these people are like they're coming to interview this kid. It's like, who? I hear this 10-year-old has a scoop. They're just gonna take this kid's word as truth and interview this 10-year-old. He says he's got info on the president. It's like what?
On this blue piece of paper.
Yeah, I didn't even think of all that. Well, it's written on a piece of paper. It's got to be true. This is written documentation he has.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt weird that he was like in the hotel room, like writing, "Here, I want you to take this, son." It's like that's a big fucking responsibility. Like, why would you do that? It seemed a little unrealistic.
Yeah. I don't think he ever read it too.
No.
So it's like, what are you gonna do the interview? Hold on, I'm learning this as well as.
Yeah. Like what?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right, so for finality's sake, I still struggle with the title. For those that wish me dead.
Those that wish me dead. Yeah.
Those that wish me dead. That's a. Woo. That's like live, die, repeat.
It's a little rough. Yeah.
No, it's Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah, I'd give it a 6. I think it's worth a watch. I don't think it reaches into a great movie, which I would probably be a 7 for me. It was like 7 is a good score for me. That's like, this is a okay movie. It's worth a watch. It's kind of fun. It reminds me of old school movies, which I do like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe a 6.5. I might give it that 0.5 because I do love the old school feel of it. It does feel like a 90s kind of action romp, but in a good way, in a better way than Little Things did.
Yeah.
Which, you know, Little Things felt played out and like just too many of the 90s tropes and trying to do it. But this one, I liked that feel in it. So, yeah, it's probably a 6.5. I thought it was okay. It wasn't great. I don't know if I'd watch it again, but I definitely enjoyed the one watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when I was over, I was landing on a 7, which I think I'll still stick with that. I thought it was pretty entertaining. It's not a fucking masterpiece. It's not a must watch, but it is pretty entertaining. I can see a lot of people just sitting down on a Sunday afternoon and watching a good old fashioned, 90s thriller. I think some of the characters are good for what they're given. I think the story's kind of fun and goes in interesting ways and has some surprises. Yeah, I would give it a 7.
Yeah, cool. 6.5 and a 7. Yeah, I don't really get why a lot of the reviews I saw were pretty bad. I don't understand that. That's why I don't really.
I have an assumption. So this is just me, taking a stab. But one thing I didn't get into with Taylor Sheridan is he's a little controversial with some of his writing. And Hell or High Water, like I was saying, it's about 2 bank robbers in Texas who were trying to get money to save their mom's house. Well, at the same time, this Jeff Bridges character is a sheriff who's like trying to hunt them down. Anyways, he has a partner who's Native American, and Jeff Bridges' character, even though he loves his partner, you can kind of see that towards the end, but there's a lot of racism in there. And I think a lot of his movies kind of totes the line of he kind of treats his female characters like shit. He has some racial... I mean, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I don't really read into that. If he wants to make those characters, I'm all about it. That's fine. But I think a lot of journalists don't appreciate that kind of stuff in film. So my guess was that a lot of the stuff he'll put out, I think, may just get hated just because he's who he is. But that's just a guess.
Then this movie they should love this then.
Yeah.
Because this movie, I would never believe that from this movie. Because Angelina Jolie is obviously the strongest character in this movie, and the wife of the guy, who's the wife of the sheriff, is like way more adept than the sheriff himself, and is the one saving the day while pregnant and like fighting. And so, this movie seems like to be the opposite of that. Then,
yeah, I wonder if some of these decisions are because of that. Hold on. The reason why I'm saying that is because, like I said, I've seen all of his movies, and I know the controversy around them. I don't mind that kind of stuff. Me personally, I just like art the way it is, and the artist wants to do these things, then do them. But there's a scene where they get to the house with the woman, the pregnant wife, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is, because I know some of the stuff he's done in the past. I'm like, this is not going to be like, they have the fire poker, and it's just like, oh shit. Because in his previous movies, I think he would have gone somewhere with that, and he kind of restrained a little bit. But so maybe some of the stuff is a pushback or trying to please some of his haters, but who knows?
Yeah, throw in a tree rape like Evil Dead.
Well, he has a really awful rape in one of his movies. It's another one of which is a great movie, but I will never watch it again because that rape scene is awful. But so yeah, that was just my guess of maybe why. I mean, maybe people have real criticism of this movie, but I don't want to take that away from them. But that would just be my guess, that they're coming into the movie with a little bit of a grudge, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, I think IGN gave it a 4.
Jesus.
If I recall correctly. So I don't understand it scores that low. That's why I don't really care about movie reviews. A lot of times I'll look them up before I watch these movies that we watch, just to get an idea of what other people were thinking, because it doesn't influence my opinion of the movie at all. Mm-hmm. So it's not like if I see it 4 or something, or I saw bad reviews of or glowing reviews of Mortal Kombat, and then I went and watched it and didn't think it was that great. Didn't change my mind, you know what I mean? Like, I don't let those influence me. I just like to know what other people think, so I can be like, okay, let's see what I think now and how it compares to the general consensus. Typically, it's never the same, so I don't put much weight into movie reviews from the typical scene.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I occasionally, before we sit down and talk, I'll do kind of the same thing, kind of go through my trusted, people and see what they thought. But just in a score sense, like, I refuse to read an in-depth review of something before we talk about it, because I don't want their words to seep into my thoughts. So I try, if I am going to read a review, it's typically after we discuss. But yeah, I do kind of the same thing, is just to kind of see where it is on like the, what's that? Not Rotten Tomatoes, the cinema score. I don't know, but shit like that. Or like, is it a B plus?
Yeah.
Is it, what's the audience saying? Is it a C?
Yeah, I don't read the reviews either, because it's just too much. I don't want to read about a movie is weird. I look at it and I kind of hit the highlights. I'll browse through it abridged. Like, oh, Angelina Jolie's character was yada yada. I was like, okay, moving on. And the story was okay. Mm-hmm. They seem to like the story from the sentence I read. Anyways, yeah, that's what we got. Pretty good movie. I'd go check it out. It's cool to have these pretty good movies available while we're all at home and stuff and dealing with this bullshit. So that's cool.
Yeah. The theater up the street from my house, that's like a 5-minute walk away, opens next week. I don't know what comes out next week, but I'm anxious to sit in a theater again, because it's been over a year. So I'm pretty excited. Hopefully, maybe I'll go see Spiral, because fuck it. Why not?
Yeah.
I think the Zack Snyder movie comes out next week on Netflix. I don't think it's in theaters, too. Maybe we'll check that out, but...
That looks so bad.
It looks pretty bad.
Like, oh, man. It makes me, wish he would do another series. I loved Dawn of the Dead, dude. I'm actually... The hype from this, people talking about it, I was like, man, I want to go find that again. I don't think it's streaming anywhere, though. Mm-hmm. That Dawn of the Dead remake was pretty badass.
Yeah. Agreed.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, and what was it? I don't know why that just... Zack Snyder, of course, brought Superman into my mind. But they were going to do that new Superman, J.J. Abrams. Mm-hmm. And now they're like, no, we want a black Superman and a black director. I was like, oh my god, here it goes. Fuck you, JJ. How about you just pick a good director? And it's like, I feel like they're trying so hard to get woke because of all the controversy with Ray Fisher.
Yeah.
It's like, if you hire some black actors and give them good roles, the director should just be whoever's going to do it well, right? I mean.
Yeah, that's kind of where I stand. I personally don't care. My thing is, just make a good movie. I don't care who the fuck you cast. Just because you cast and have this director doesn't mean it's automatically this masterpiece that we're all going to love. Yeah. It doesn't mean shit. It's nice for diversity's sake, I get it, but, make sure you make a good movie to stand by that. You don't make some throwaway shit.
Everyone pushing this is like, I don't think Michael B. Jordan would be a very good Superman, but try it out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work. It seems more like a Green Lantern to me. But yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know if you saw all these reports, but there's some reports that Ben Affleck might be doing a series for HBO as Batman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's reports that it's going to be like based on the video games, like the Arkham Knight kind of series. So he'd be able to reprise Batman and like a series. There's a couple reports, but there's also another report that what's his name, Michael Keaton, had signed on to, because HBO, I guess, is going to do an original like DC thing, is what they're going to try and do like every year or something. And so one of these is they're hoping to be their first. So the other one was Michael Keaton signed on for a series to play Batman in like a Batman Beyond. But from the reports, I guess it shifted into a movie. And they had an actor as Terry McGinnis. I can't remember who it was, like Timothy Chalamet or something. Does that sound familiar?
Oh yeah, he would be a really good Batman.
Yeah, but anyway, he was going to be Terry McGinnis, and Michael Keaton is obviously Bruce Wayne. So it's like, ooh,
that'd be
that's
sick.
That's some interesting shit. Like, I hope they do this. Like, keep the bunch of these going. You don't have to have a Marvel does it better than you. The connected universe. You don't have to go do something completely fucking different. Where you have 3 fucking Batmans at all times.
Yeah.
Like, you have all these different. That's how they were successful in their animated movies. They got Batman with the turtles. They got fucking Batman's hanging out with Scooby Doo over here in this one. They got the rated R Batman is ripping fucking people's heads off. And it's like, dude, just do that. Just some crazy multiverse shit, and that's how you could stand apart and actually maybe give Marvel a run.
Yeah, a lot of people criticize them for that. I actually think it's the biggest strength. It's like, dude, Marvel has the cinematic universe. You're not even going to get fucking close to that. Like, you're not even going to hold a candle. I mean, you can try. I mean, well, you already did, and you fucking fell on your face.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, embrace the one-off movies. Embrace things like The Joker. Embrace things like Harley Quinn. Embrace things like, whatever, the Flash movie. Embrace these kind of one-offs, just like they do the animated movies. They have these animated movies that are just one-offs, and they're great. So, I don't know, I think they should embrace it.
And I just also, with Ben Affleck coming back for The Flash, Ben Affleck will break and hold the record for most times playing Batman in live action with 4. And I think that's pretty fucking cool. Pretty cool.
What did he do? He did Batman v Superman and Justice League, right? Only 2.
And
he had a cameo in Suicide Squad, but I don't know if that counts. I guess maybe it counts, but I don't think that should count, though. You gotta have a main Batman movie.
He didn't get a main Batman movie at all. So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think it's just appearances on film as Batman is what they're counting.
I was gonna say, I think Christian Bale has the.
Yeah, he's got the 3 full real movies.
Yeah.
2 of which are really good. All right, that's all we got.
Yeah,
pretty good. Go check it out. Remember, stay vigilant. Enjoy your movies. Enjoy your games. And we'll be here to argue about it. Thank you guys for being with us. Thank you for liking and subscribing. We'll see you next time. Maybe we'll do this Zack Snyder zombie crap and see if it's how bad it is or if it's any fun. We'll see. Batista. All right. Later, guys. Peace.
Thank you. Peace.